the billionaire groom who hated his wedding until he locked eyes with the black wedding planner. The rain poured over Seoul like the sky was crying. Minjun stood in front of the huge glass window of his family's mansion, hands in his pockets, shoulders heavy like someone had tied stones to them. Everyone thought he was lucky. Everyone thought he should be smiling. He was a billionaire, young, handsome, with everything money could buy. But today, he hated everything. Especially his wedding. He didn't want to marry Hannah. She was beautiful, yes. Perfect, yes. But perfect in a cold way, like a flower made of ice. Their parents had arranged the marriage for business reasons, not heart reasons. Minjun didn't want to be trapped. The wedding was in 3 days, and the mansion was filled with noise, designers rushing, chefs carrying trays, his mother shouting orders like a general. Minjun felt his chest tighten. Then the front door opened, and she walked in. A girl with glowing brown skin, soft braids tied back neatly, eyes bright like they carried sunlight inside them, even on the rainiest day. Dorcas, the new wedding planner. She was supposed to be helping with decorations and schedules, nothing more. But the moment Minjun turned and she looked up just once, his world stopped. Not slowly, not softly. It stopped like someone pressed pause on life. Her eyes widened too, like she felt something she wasn't expecting. She quickly bowed politely. "Good afternoon, sir," she said, voice gentle but steady. Minjun couldn't speak. His heartbeat jumped so fast he felt dizzy. He hated this wedding, yet the moment he saw her, something warm flickered in his chest, something he didn't recognize. Hope. Dorcas tried to walk past him toward the hall, but her hand brushed his by accident. A spark shot through him. She froze. He froze. The rain outside seemed to hold its breath. His mother suddenly walked in, breaking the moment. "Dorcas, you're late. We have so much to do." Dorcas bowed again quickly and rushed off, leaving Minjun standing there, confused, shaking, breath uneven. He didn't know her. He didn't know why he felt this way. All he knew was, for the first time since the wedding was announced, Minjun didn't hate today. The next morning, the mansion buzzed with wedding chaos. Flowers filled the hallways, boxes of decorations were stacked to the ceiling, and Hannah's mother sat on a gold chair complaining about everything. The noise made Minjun want to run far away. He stepped outside into the garden just to breathe. The air was cold but clean. He closed his eyes and finally felt calm, until he heard soft footsteps behind him. He turned, and Dorcas stood there holding a clipboard. Her braids were tied in a bun today, and a pencil was tucked behind her ear. She looked cute without even trying. "Oh, I didn't know anyone was out here," she said. "It's okay," Minjun replied. His voice sounded too soft, too gentle, even to himself. Dorcas held the clipboard tighter. "I'm checking the garden setup. The wedding planner quit yesterday, so I'm filling in until they hire someone new." Minjun stared at her. "Quit? Why?" Dorcas hesitated. She said the family was too stressful. He laughed quietly. "I believe that." For the first time, Dorcas smiled, a real smile, bright and warm. It hit Minjun so hard his breath caught. She turned away to check the flowers, but Minjun found himself following her with his eyes. She knelt to fix a ribbon, and a small breeze brushed against her cheek. She looked peaceful, soft, real, something Hannah never looked like. Suddenly Dorcas stood up too fast, and the clipboard slipped from her hand. Minjun caught it before it hit the ground. Their fingers touched again. That spark returned, stronger, hotter, clearer. Dorcas quickly pulled her hand back, cheeks warm. "Thank you, sir." "You can call me Minjun," he said quietly. Her eyes widened. "I can't." "You can," he insisted. She looked down shyly. Then, "Thank you, Minjun." His heart thumped loudly. Too loudly, like it wanted to escape his chest and run to her. Dorcas cleared her throat. "I need to finish checking the decorations." She walked off quickly, almost running. Minjun watched her go, unable to move. He should have been thinking about his wedding. He should have been thinking about Hannah. But all he could think about was her. By noon, the mansion was packed with people. Photographers came to take pre-wedding pictures. Hannah arrived with her perfect makeup and perfect hair and perfect smile. A smile that never reached her eyes. "Minjun, stand here," the photographer ordered. "Hannah, hold his arm." Hannah grabbed his arm like she was holding a robot, and Minjun stood stiffly. The camera clicked, but Minjun's eyes kept drifting to the back of the room, where Dorcas was checking lighting. She didn't notice him, but he noticed her. Every move, every glance, every breath. The photographer snapped his fingers. "Minjun, look at your fiancé." Minjun tried, but something inside him felt wrong. Everything felt wrong. Hannah leaned close. "Please act normal," she whispered sharply through her smile. "Normal?" Minjun whispered back. "I don't even want this wedding." Hannah's hand tightened on his arm painfully. "You don't have a choice." Minjun's jaw clenched. The camera clicked again, capturing the fake moment. Dorcas finally looked up from across the room. Their eyes met for a second too long. She quickly looked away, but Minjun felt it like a shock. When the photo shoot ended, Hannah walked off with her mother. Minjun slipped outside again, unable to breathe. Just as he reached the garden, someone bumped into him, gently. "Dorcas." She stepped back quickly. "I'm sorry, I wasn't watching." "It's fine," Minjun said softly. She looked stressed. Her eyes were tired. "Your mother wants the flower arch changed again." "Again?" Minjun asked. "She already changed it 5 times. Dorcas nodded. "I know. She's very demanding." Minjun let out a breath. "Are they treating you badly?" Dorcas looked surprised. "No, not badly. Just a lot." He could see the truth slipping through her calm face. She was overwhelmed. She was tired. She was trying so hard. He didn't know why, but he wanted to protect her. Hold her. Tell her she didn't have to do everything alone. Instead, he said softly, "If they stress you too much, tell me." "Why?" she whispered. "Because," he swallowed. "Because I care about you. Because I feel something I shouldn't feel. Because you're the only part of this wedding that feels right." But he only said, "Because you don't deserve to suffer." Dorcas looked at him, really looked. Her eyes softened slowly, gently, like her heart was opening without permission. "Thank you, Minjun," she whispered. Something in that moment changed. Quietly, silently, strongly. And neither of them could pretend not to feel it. The mansion grew louder as evening came. Workers carried boxes, decorators rushed around, chefs argued in the kitchen. But Minjun barely noticed any of it. He was still thinking about Dorcas, her eyes, her voice, the way she said his name softly like she was afraid it might break. He didn't understand why she affected him this much. He barely knew her. Yet she felt familiar, like someone his heart remembered even though his mind didn't. He walked into the hall to look for her. He didn't mean to, his body just moved. That scared him. Minjun had never lost control of his feelings before. Not once. Dorcas was standing on a small ladder, fixing a white curtain. Her hands were steady, but her face looked sad, like she was carrying something heavy inside. He didn't like that expression on her face. "Dorcas," he said softly. She jumped a little, lost balance, and the ladder wobbled. Minjun rushed forward and grabbed her waist before she fell. His hands wrapped around her, warm and firm. Her breath hitched. Her heartbeat thumped fast against his chest. For a moment, they stayed like that, frozen, too close, too aware. "Are you okay?" he whispered, voice barely a breath. Dorcas nodded slowly. Yes." Her eyes lifted to his, and Minjun felt something explode quietly inside him. Something dangerous. Something beautiful. Something he shouldn't feel. He gently set her down on the ground, but he didn't step back immediately. Neither did she. Then Hannah's voice echoed from a distance. "Minjun, where are you? We need you." Dorcas quickly stepped away, eyes dropping to the floor. Minjun felt the loss of her warmth, like someone pulled the sun away. "You should go," she whispered. "I don't want to," he replied before he could stop himself. Her eyes widened slightly, like the words touched something deep inside her. But she forced a small smile. "Still, you have to." Minjun sighed and walked away, but every step felt wrong. Hannah grabbed his arm the moment he appeared. "Where were you? You can't disappear like that." He didn't answer. He couldn't. Because his mind wasn't with her. His mind was still holding Dorcas. That night, Minjun couldn't sleep. He tossed from side to side, staring at the ceiling. His wedding was in 2 days, yet his heart was loud and confused and beating for someone he shouldn't want. Around midnight, he gave up and walked downstairs to the kitchen. The lights were dim, and the house was finally quiet. He poured water into a glass, then froze. Dorcas was there, sitting alone at the counter. Her head rested on her arms like she had fallen asleep from exhaustion. Minjun's chest tightened. She looked so peaceful, so innocent, so tired. He walked closer, careful not to wake her. But her eyes opened slowly. "Oh," she said softly, surprised. "I thought everyone was asleep." "Couldn't sleep," Minjun said honestly. "You?" She hesitated. I've been working on the final seating plan. Your mother changed it again. I didn't want to leave it unfinished." He sat across from her, watching her tired fingers rub her forehead. "Dorcas, it's late. You shouldn't be working this hard." She smiled weakly. "It's my job." "No," he said gently. "It's too much." She looked at him, eyes soft but guarded. "Minjun, why do you care so much?" He froze. The answer rose to his throat, hot and real. "Because I feel something for you. Because you make me feel alive. Because you're the only person in this house who sees me, not my money." But he said none of those things. Instead, he spoke softly. "Because you matter." Dorcas's breath caught. She looked away quickly, but he saw her hands tremble slightly. "Don't say things like that," she whispered. "It makes it hard for me." "Hard for you?" he asked. "Why?" She didn't answer. Her eyes shined with something she was fighting to hide. He wanted to touch her hand. He wanted to hold her face. He wanted things he shouldn't want. "Dorcas," he said quietly, "tell me." She shook her head. "I can't. You're getting married." The words stabbed him sharply. Married. To someone he didn't love. While the girl he did love sat right in front of him. His voice came out rough. "I don't want that wedding." Dorcas's eyes lifted, shocked. But before either of them could speak, footsteps echoed in the hall. Someone was coming. Dorcas quickly stood, panicked, as if being seen with him would ruin everything. She whispered, "Good night," and hurried out the back door. Minjun stood alone, fists clenched. Something had to change. Something was already changing. Morning came with trouble. Big trouble. Hannah screamed so loudly the whole mansion shook. Her mother shouted too. Minjun rushed downstairs, worried someone had died. Instead, he found Dorcas standing in the middle of the hall, surrounded by wedding guests, decorators, and the angry bride. "What's happening?" Minjun demanded. Hannah pointed at Dorcas like she was pointing at a criminal. "She ruined everything. She changed the seating plan. She touched my dress. She disrespected me." Dorcas looked shocked. "I didn't do any of that. I only followed your mother's instructions." "She's lying," Hannah yelled. "She wants to sabotage my wedding." Whispers filled the hall. People stared. Dorcas's hands shook, but she kept her chin lifted bravely. Minjun stepped forward. "Stop shouting at her." Hannah's eyes widened. "Are you defending her?" "Yes." Before he could think of a safer answer, the truth slipped out. "Yes," he said firmly. Gasps filled the room. Dorcas's eyes widened in fear. She shook her head slightly, silently asking him not to make things worse for her. But Minjun had had enough. "My mother changed the plan," he said loudly. Dorcas only did her job. Hannah stepped closer, eyes burning. "Why are you taking her side?" "She's just a planner." Minjun's voice dropped dangerously soft. Her job title doesn't define her dignity. The hall went silent. Dorcas looked at Minjun like she didn't know whether to cry or run. Hannah's mother gasped. "This girl is distracting you." Then Hannah said the words that made everything explode. "She has no right talking to you. She's beneath us." Dorcas flinched like she'd been slapped. Something inside Minjun snapped in half. "Don't you ever talk about her like that," he yelled. Everyone froze. Minjun had never raised his voice in public before. Hannah's face changed shock, then fear, then anger. "Are you in love with her?" The room held its breath. Dorcas shook her head fast. No, it's not. But Minjun said nothing. Silence was louder than any confession. Hannah burst into tears and ran upstairs. Her mother followed her, screaming. The hall slowly emptied until only Minjun and Dorcas remained. Dorcas covered her face, shaking. You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have defended me like that. I won't let anyone hurt you, Minjun said, stepping closer. But now they hate me, she whispered. They can hate me instead, he replied. Her tears slid down her cheeks. Without thinking, Minjun gently wiped one away with his thumb. Dorcas froze, breath trembling. Minjun, people are watching, she whispered. I don't care. Her eyes lifted slowly to his. And in that moment, quiet, dangerous, beautiful, something between them finally broke open. Dorcas stood there trembling, her fingers twisting together, eyes red from trying not to cry. Minjun stepped closer, his voice soft but steady. Dorcas, look at me. She slowly lifted her eyes, and the pain in them twisted his chest so hard he could barely breathe. I can't let you suffer because of me, she whispered. You're supposed to marry Hannah. If people think something is happening between us, there is something happening between us, Minjun said, his voice shaking with truth. Dorcas looked away fast, like she didn't want to hear it. No, there can't be. You're a billionaire. You are not just anything, he said sharply. You're you. And that's enough. She pressed a hand to her chest, overwhelmed. Minjun, please, don't say things that make my heart confused. My heart has never been clearer, he whispered. Dorcas took a step back, like she needed air. Your family will hate me. Your company might fall. You could lose everything. Then let it fall, Minjun said. She froze. He had never said something so dangerous. So real. He walked toward her slowly, each step heavy with decision. Dorcas, I won't marry someone I don't love. I won't tie my life to a person who treats others like they're nothing. But the engagement, she whispered. I'm ending it. Her eyes widened in pure shock. Minjun, no. Yes, he said firmly. I'm calling off the wedding. Dorcas covered her mouth with both hands. Her whole body trembled. Do you know what you're risking? Everything, he said softly. My family's approval. Business deals. Reputation. Money. He reached for her hands gently and lowered them. Her palms were warm, soft, trembling. But none of it matters more than choosing what's right, or choosing who's right. Her breath hitched. Minjun, why me? He swallowed, emotions tight. Because when I look at you, I feel alive. Because you're the only person who sees me, not the billionaire, not the heir, just me. Dorcas shook her head, tears falling. You shouldn't choose me. I don't have anything to offer you. You have your heart, Minjun said. And that's something money can't buy. A soft, broken sound escaped her, part cry, part relief. He pulled her gently into his arms. Dorcas melted against him like she had been holding the world alone and finally let it go. His hand slid to her back, protective, steady. For a moment, they stayed like that, two hearts beating the same rhythm, two worlds finally touching. Then, a furious voice ripped through the silence. Minjun. His mother stood at the top of the stairs, Hannah beside her with swollen, angry eyes. Behind them, staff members gathered like they were watching a storm about to explode. Minjun didn't let go of Dorcas. His mother's voice cracked like thunder. What is the meaning of this? Minjun held Dorcas even closer. I'm ending the engagement. The entire mansion gasped. Hannah stepped down the stairs slowly, shaking with rage. You're choosing her over me? Over your family? Over everything? Yes, Minjun said. His mother's voice dropped to ice. If you break this engagement, you will lose the company rights. You will lose your inheritance. You will lose your position in this family. Minjun looked straight at her. Then I lose it. Everyone froze. Dorcas gasped softly. Minjun, no. He squeezed her hand. I choose you. Hannah screamed and threw her bouquet at the wall, petals exploding everywhere. His mother looked like she might faint. But Minjun didn't care. He didn't care about the wealth, the name, the fear, the threats. He only cared about the girl beside him, the one whose hand he held, the one who made him feel like he had something real to live for. He turned to Dorcas. Her eyes were wide, full of love and fear and disbelief all at once. "It's your decision that matters now," he whispered. "If you want me to walk away, I will." Dorcas's lips parted. Tears ran down her cheeks softly, silently. Dorcas stood frozen, her heart shaking inside her like a tiny bird trapped in a storm. Minjun's hand held hers tightly, warm, steady, full of a promise she never thought she deserved. His mother glared at them like lightning in human form. Hannah cried loudly behind her, her tears falling more from anger than heartbreak. The mansion staff whispered in corners, shocked and scared. Dorcas felt small. Too small. "Minjun," she whispered, voice barely a breath. "You can't throw away your whole life for me." "I'm not throwing it away," he said softly. "I'm saving it." Her knees almost gave out, but the anger around them grew thicker. "You will regret this," she hissed. "You will regret losing everything for a simple wedding planner who—" "Amma," Minjun interrupted, his voice sharper than she had ever heard. "Don't finish that sentence." She stopped, shocked. He rarely raised his voice to her. Almost never. Dorcas swallowed hard. Please don't fight because of me." But Minjun shook his head. He looked at her with eyes full of something deep, something certain. "You're not the reason," he whispered. "You're the truth." Those words hit her so hard her eyes filled with tears. His mother's face reddened. "If you leave this house with her, Minjun, don't come back. Not as my son. Not as the heir. Not as anything." The sentence was like a door slamming shut forever. Dorcas trembled. "Minjun, please, don't lose your mother. Don't lose your family." But he looked at her with a calm, gentle strength she had never seen before. "You taught me something," he said quietly. "Love is not chains. Love is freedom." Then he interlaced his fingers with hers, turned toward the door, and walked. He walked away from everything. The mansion, the money, the title, the pressure, the engagement, the life chosen for him. He walked away. For her. Dorcas's breath broke into pieces as they stepped into the cold night air. The heavy mansion door closed behind them with a deep, final sound. They reached the gate. Then the street. Then silence. Dorcas stopped walking. She pulled her hand away, tears streaming. "Minjun," she whispered. "You didn't have to lose everything. I'm not worth such a sacrifice." He turned toward her, cupping her face gently. "You're worth more than all of it combined." Her body shook with emotion. She leaned into his hand, her tears falling onto his wrist. He stepped closer. "You're not alone anymore, Dorcas. Whatever comes next, we face it together." She nodded weakly, feeling both terrified and safe at the same time. They walked into the night, leaving the mansion lights behind them. She wanted to go back where she came from, but he pleaded for her to go with him. The next day passed in slow, heavy hours. Rain dripped from gray clouds as if the sky mourned the chaos of yesterday. Minjun decided to stay in a small guest house he used to visit when he needed peace. Dorcas stayed in a different room across the hall. Not because she wanted distance, but because she was afraid of bringing more trouble to him. Minjun knocked gently on her door around midday. She opened it, surprised. "You haven't eaten," he said softly. "And you haven't slept," she replied. He smiled weakly. "So we're both struggling." She felt warmth pull at her heart. "What happens now?" He sighed. "I don't know. But I know what I won't do, go back and pretend to love someone I don't." Dorcas looked down. "Your mother must be hurting." He nodded. "I know." Hours later, while the rain fell harder, Minjun walked outside to clear his mind. Dorcas watched him through the window, worried. Then she saw something else. A car approaching slowly. Her heart jumped. The car stopped. And Minjun's mother stepped out, her umbrella fighting against the wind. Her expensive clothes were soaked at the edges. She looked tired. Older. Fragile in a way Dorcas had never seen. Dorcas opened the door quickly. "Mrs. Lee, please come inside." His mother looked at her with red eyes. "Is Minjun here?" Dorcas nodded. "He's outside in the garden." Mrs. Lee entered, her steps slow, unsure. Dorcas guided her carefully. When Minjun came in and saw his mother, his face froze. For a moment, Neither of them moved. Then his mother's voice cracked like something breaking inside her. Minjun, I'm sorry. He blinked. Amma. She walked toward him, her eyes filling with heavy tears. I forced you. I pushed you. I forgot that happiness is the only thing a parent should want for their child. Minjun's throat tightened. You said I wasn't your son anymore. His mother pressed a trembling hand to her mouth. I was angry, but I didn't mean it. You are my son. Always. Dorcas stood silently at the doorway, eyes burning. Mrs. Lee turned to her. Dorcas stiffened, nervous. The older woman looked at her for a long moment, then bowed her head. I'm sorry for judging you, she whispered. And I'm sorry for hurting you. Dorcas gasped softly. Mrs. Lee continued, voice shaking, if my son chooses you, then I accept you. Truly. Dorcas covered her mouth, tears falling fast. Minjun stepped to his mother and hugged her tightly. She held him as if she had been afraid of losing him forever. Then Mrs. Lee pulled back, wiping her cheeks. I only want one thing now. Minjun frowned gently. What is it? She pointed between him and Dorcas. Don't run from your hearts anymore. Dorcas's breath trembled. Minjun turned to her slowly. A soft, deep emotion rose between them like the beginning of a sunrise. And this time, there was nothing left in the way. The days after his mother's apology felt lighter, like the sun finally returned after a long storm. The guest house no longer felt like a hiding place. It felt like a beginning. Dorcas smiled more. Minjun slept better. And his mother visited often, bringing food and asking gentle questions. One afternoon, while the air was warm and the sky clear, Minjun found Dorcas arranging flowers in the tiny garden behind the guest house. She looked peaceful, bright, beautiful. He walked toward her slowly, heart beating with a new kind of courage. Dorcas, he said softly. She looked up, eyes warm. Yes, I have something to ask you. She blinked, nervous. What is it? Minjun took her hand, holding it the same way he did the night he left everything behind. Dorcas, I don't want to live without you. Her breath caught. I don't care about the mansion, the company, the money, or the name. I only care about a life where I can wake up, see you smile, hear your voice, and feel peace. Her eyes began to shine. I want a life where love is simple and true. A life with you. Dorcas covered her trembling mouth. Minjun. He kneeled. Her whole world stopped. Dorcas, he whispered, will you marry me? Tears poured down her cheeks, soft and warm. She nodded fast, unable to speak. Yes, she finally breathed, voice breaking with joy. Yes, Minjun. I will marry you. He stood and pulled her gently into his arms, spinning her once as she laughed through her tears. His mother watched from the window, her own eyes shining. She whispered a prayer of thanks. The wedding planning began, this time small, quiet, and full of love. Instead of a mansion ballroom, they chose a tiny Korean garden filled with lanterns and white flowers. Instead of hundreds of screaming guests, there were 10 close friends and Minjun's mother, smiling through every moment. Dorcas wore a simple white dress. Her smile was the brightest thing in the whole garden. Minjun wore a soft cream suit that made him look gentle and handsome. Music played softly as Dorcas walked down the small stone path. Minjun's heart almost stopped when he saw her. His mother held her chest, whispering, "She's perfect." Dorcas reached him, her hands shaking in his. Minjun whispered, "I can't believe you're mine." "And I can't believe you chose me," she smiled. The officiator spoke simple vows, but Dorcas and Minjun barely heard any of it. They only heard each other's breathing, each other's hearts, each other's love. Then, "You may kiss." Minjun cupped her face gently, like she was the most precious thing he had ever touched. Dorcas closed her eyes with a soft breath. Their lips met, warm, slow, full of promise. A new promise. A new life. A new beginning. The garden glowed with lanterns. The wind whispered blessings. His mother clapped with joy, wiping tears. And Minjun whispered against Dorcas's forehead, "I didn't lose anything. I gained everything." She smiled, leaning into his chest. Together, they walked forward, hand in hand. Not as the billionaire and the planner. Not as two people from different worlds, but as husband and wife. And their love story started beautifully that day. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe for more amazing tales.